So when I was in Wipro, I was there for 3 years. So my salary was increasing, but it was increasing very slow. With learning opportunities, like I was in the same project for 3 years, so I wasn't get much like exposure for the learning part as well. And the career trajectory is also like if you have to be in a service-based company, you have to be in 10 12 years to reach a certain senior level. Like
Once I prepared
yes,
for CAT to clear the MBA, I had the startup zone, and I thought like if I have an IA degree, probably I would get easily funding. Tried hard, and I spent almost 6 months very hard to clear the CAT, and I gave mock after mock, and my score.
so see, like whenever you join some company, right, do some research. For
Correct.
example, companies like Byju's or Paytm, Zomato, Swiggy, they are cash burning
Hello
company.
all, welcome back to Uncommon Geeks. Myself Asant, I hope you all doing well. In case if you're seeing me first time on the internet, I'm a content creator. I help people to clear their interview. I made a lot of series in the past which has been appreciated by many related to interview preparation. Link to those series will be somewhere on the screen, also in the description section. In case if you've not seen my videos, please go ahead and check them out. And if you're seriously preparing for an interview, it will definitely help you. And along with that, I also interview a lot of interesting personalities on my channel, like who are very good in their current positions. So they'll give you a lot of tips about clearing the interview and how should be your thought process whenever you're changing the company. In today's episode, I'll be interviewing a personality called Manish. So he's a QA and works for Coin DCX. Previous to that, he was working in Zeta. Previous to that, he was working for Grab. Previous to that, he was working in Wipro. So he's going to talk a lot about the how he shifted from a service company to a product company. What was his thought process? What is his interview preparation strategy? And if you're a fresher, you want to take a QA as your career, is it a good option or not? Lot of such interesting questions will be answered in this particular interview. In case if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Almost every week I'll be interviewing such interesting personalities on my channel. Definitely you'll benefited if you're seriously preparing for interview or looking for your career growth. Now without wasting further time, let's get started. Manish, welcome to Uncommon Geeks. Thank you so much for accepting my invite, coming live on the channel.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah. So Manish, I've already given your introduction in my own words in the starting of the video, but my audience will be very much liking to know your introduction in your own words. Can you please introduce yourself, Manish?
Yeah, sure. So myself, Manish, like I have been into testing for past 6.5 years, and I have been in the industry for past 6.5 years. I started my journey with Wipro, and I was working as a performance test engineer, and I was there for 2.5, 3 years, and then I thought, okay, I have to switch and I have to move to a maybe a startup operator-based company because like that's where I felt I can get the right amount of knowledge or like right amount of guidance which I was like looking for. So after Wipro, I moved and joined Zeta. I was lucky, like I got an opportunity. And after Zeta, everything changed. So I have been worked with Grab and now I'm working with Coin DCX. So after Wipro, I have been only part of startup and product-based companies. And yeah, I'm pretty much content with my life, doing good in my life, and happy to be a QA.
Great, Manish. Manish, let us start with the first question. Very common question that I get. Can QA earn a six-digit salary?
Um, yeah, pretty much. Yes, like I'm getting, and I can assure you that if you're on the right track, and if you keep studying and if you keep hustling, you can easily get 6 digit salary. And a couple of things you have to remember, like as a QA, you cannot get a very good salary in the beginning of your career, not as good as a developer because that's how the market is. But if you have the right knowledge, right information, and if you make a couple of switches, you can easily get a 6 digit salary. And if you are someone who is into automation looking for SDET roles, then I think in very less time, maybe within 2.5, 3 years, maybe just making one or two switch, you can get a 6 digit salary for sure.
Great, Manish. So another very common question that I get, Manish, is let's say people are like they're freshers or they just started their career. They struggle a lot to identify their way of interest. I've seen many who started development and they feel very difficult to get along. Or it's quite similar, like where after the 10th people go to science and they struggle actually, though it's not their interest. So who you think are the right set of engineers for becoming a QA, or how to identify who should become QA?
See, when we start preparing, be it any exams or be it your placements, deep down we all know like how good we are and
Correct.
what are the areas which we really excel. So QA, like I think if you have a couple of things I want to highlight, like if you have basic understanding the coding or the like tech part, if you have the basic understanding, that is something which should must have. Apart from it, there are many traits which you should have, like there are many traits or many qualities which a QA should have. For example, you should be very good with communication, because you will be the center of attraction. Like you will be connecting the dots between the managers,
Correct.
be it the product managers and the developers. So you are the one who has to talk to and fro and understand the requirement and make sure that it has been conveyed, and on that basis you test.
Correct.
Another thing is very important thing is like logical building. So
Correct.
it's not like only a developer have a good logical or analytical analysis knowledge. You also need to, because when there are some features which are very critical. For example, I am part of payment domain.
Yes.
So payment is a very, very critical stuff. And if anything, even a single thing goes here and there, the market will not treat you well.
Definitely.
And the customer will not leave you. So in such kind of tough market, you have to be very good with your your analysis part, like how good you are understanding the feature, and like how well you are covering the scenarios and the test cases, which will be making sure that the feature is tested nicely. So as I said, like basic coding you should have knowledge.
Correct.
On top of it, like as I said, like you have to be very sure like how well you can plan your scenarios and your test cases,
Got it.
and how good you are with communication, and your debugging skills. Like if you found any issue, how good you are able to like debug. So
Definitely.
these are some basic like things which you need for be a very good QA.
Got it. Sure, now Manish. So I have this another question, because a lot of my audience are from the service company who are either junior and just started their career at the service company. And as you already mentioned in the introduction, you already switched almost 3 product companies after a service company. But many are in the service company and they don't know what is the right time to switch or when to leave the company. And many also have the opinion like service companies somewhat they're not so high, like they feel little inferior. Okay, I personally against that, because every company same as long as you are happy. So my only question is, what is the right motivation, Manish, for you when you switched from a service company to product company? What was your motivation?
So like there are few things which you have to keep in your mind when you're looking for a change. So how good your work-life balance is, what is your learnings, what is your career path, and the last but the very important thing is how well you are paid.
Correct.
So if any one of these things are messed up in your
Correct.
current role, then I think you need for a switch.
Correct.
You just can't keep running behind the money part, the monetary part, because after a certain point,
Definitely.
that will stop. That will stop, or maybe you won't be getting what. And I think you should not keep the monetary aspect as the only aspect to be happy. I assure you that okay, you need money, but after a certain point, when you reach a certain amount of salary, which is good enough to manage your life and your day-to-day activities, then you have to think about other activities, like how good learning you have, what are the career options you are getting in your current role, and also like how good your work-life balance is, your professional personal life balance is. So when I was in Wipro, I was there for 3 years. So my salary was increasing, but it was increasing very slow. With learning opportunities, like I was in the same project for 3 years, so I wasn't get much like exposure for the learning part as well. And the career trajectory is also like if you have to be in a service-based company, you have to be in 10-12 years to reach a certain senior level, like maybe a lead or maybe a manager.
Yes.
And the last part is work-life balance was good. Like I was not having much work pressure, but that is also something which is sometimes negative because you get into comfort zone.
Correct.
So these things were not going in my favor, and I thought, okay, I have to make a switch. So that's why I decided, okay, like I should make a switch. And the reason why I chose to be a part of a product business or a startup company is because like I had many friends and I was very active on like LinkedIn and Quora, and I knew that if I will be part of some companies like product-based company or service or a startup company, I'll have a very different career trajectory. I'll have a very different, a very good exposure.
Got
So
it.
I agree with you. Service-based companies are also good.
Correct.
Because not all the freshers can be hired by a startup or by a
Correct.
product-based company.
Correct.
You have to start your journey. So if you're not able to start your journey because of some XYZ reason, please don't hesitate. Please don't feel inferior.
Correct.
It's good to start your service-based your career with a service-based company as well.
Correct.
Later point, when you have confidence, when you have knowledge, you can switch for sure.
Yes, correct. I agree with you, Manish. Because of a lot of companies who are pushing hard on the Mang, somehow people who are really, I mean, some a lot may get a very good package and a very good work in service companies, because I've been interviewed at some company who are ready to offer me close to 100% hike. So definitely there are companies who can pay you well and give you good projects also. So at least, like you said, I also say the audience, don't think service companies are inferior, because like in my last
Yes,
post in LinkedIn, I was mentioning that India became IT hub only because of the service companies. Later, all the product
correct.
companies came. I mean, India became popular because of service sector. Correct. So don't
Yes,
feel inferior. Do whatever the great work that you are doing. And if when you think like, wow, Manish motivation,
yeah,
what is it?
agreed.
You feel
Yes,
motivated or you think it is the right time to change, change. That, but don't feel
for sure.
inferior. Correct. Yes. Yes. Sure.
Completely agreed.
Yes, yes, Manish. So I was just remembered one point regarding the first point that you were mentioning. No? Like you deep beneath, you know who you are and what you can't do. So once I prepared
Yes.
for CAT to clear the MBA, I had this startup zone, and I thought like if I have an IIM degree, probably I would get easily funding. Tried hard, and I spent almost 6 months very hard to clear the CAT, and I gave mock after mock, and my score never increased. So then I finally gave, and I got a not so good percentile. I don't want to disclose, but everyone said no, give another attempt, try another. But I got to know with office work, I definitely will not be able to clear an exam like CAT, and I did not give a try after that. So it's not demotivating people who are watching, but understand deep beneath who you are, correct? And
Yeah,
try.
like if you have even maybe 5% of confidence, then maybe
Exactly.
it's
Yes.
worth giving a try. But if
Yes.
you deep down know that you can't manage your personal professional life, you can't study,
Exactly.
then I think you are just wasting your time and your money.
Exactly. Yes. 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 Sure, Manish. Let's go to the next question. So one of the very important question, because now so many people are like in the product and service company thing. So my question is like, with your experience, I'm asking, what is the core difference that you see, Manish, between product and a service company?
So the first most thing which I feel is the visibility. So
Correct.
when you are working in a company which is having maybe 60, 70,000 of employees,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to shine among all
Correct.
those people, because their work base is very huge.
Correct.
So when you come to a startup company, when you come to a product-based company, they work on a specific feature or
Correct.
on a specific use case,
Definitely.
and there you get a very good opportunity to like shine and to show like what qualities you have.
Correct.
So this will help you to maybe make very good friends, very good connections, and also to learn a lot of stuff. Like for example, when I was working in Wipro, I was just getting tasks from my seniors. Okay, these are the tasks I have to finish in 1 week or 2 weeks. I'm just doing that and that's it. But
Got it.
here in startup or product-based company, I'm seeing why I'm doing this task, how
Exactly.
this task is going to affect this feature. And like I'm working in Coin26 app now, or I was working in Grab. So I knew, okay, I'm working on this feature. This feature is going live in the market. So how it will affect the user.
Correct.
So this
Correct.
visibility is very important, and this helps you to build your confidence.
Exactly.
Second thing, very important thing is the monetary part. So
Yeah.
I'm not saying service-based company are not paying well, but
Yeah.
what salary which you can get in a service-based company in 10, 12 years, the same
Yeah.
you can achieve in product-based company startup in 5, 6 years. So
Correct.
this is also one of the very good advantages. Another thing is the culture. So
Yeah.
the culture is very free, like you feel like very independent. There is
Exactly.
no hierarchy. Like hierarchy will be there, but
Yes.
hierarchy will be not like as big or as deep as we have in service based companies. So
True.
you can even like you even get opportunity to like meet your CEOs, CTOs, talk to them, share your feedback with them, or with your leads or with your product managers. So that hierarchy is not there, so you feel
Correct.
very free. So
Yes.
these are some major changes I have observed when
Correct.
I switched from like Wipro to
Correct.
Zeta.
Yes. Yes. So I also only one point I would like to add on, Manish, like how when I switched from service and product company, what I actually felt one main difference is, in service company, I was, like you mentioned, I was feeling as working for a manager. Like manager owns basically all the things that I do. But when I switched to product company, I started thinking nobody manages me. We both work for a product. Manager is carrying
Yes.
a role and I am carrying a role, but ultimately it is for the betterment of a product. Like,
That's why I said like when you're working on a feature, like
yeah,
this feature is going to live in this app or this product, and
correct,
this particular feature, how it is going to affect the user.
correct,
So you have that mindset, okay, that I'm working for this feature, and I have to make sure that when this feature or this app goes live, it
exactly,
has to work properly, and
exactly,
that responsibility
yes,
makes you you become a better person in
correct,
many areas:
definitely,
communication, managing the work, learning
yes,
new stuff. like many other stuff.
Correct. Same. I also just to add on. My non-technical friends will be asking me, like, you get an on call at midnight. Why you wake up and try to fix it? So I gave the same example. It is not like first of all, when user use the app, we don't know, and whenever issue comes, it is our responsibility because you are the one who built it. Correct. Whether it is midnight or a
Yes,
day, it's your responsibility to make sure whatever the piece that you have built should go work well. Correct. So that is something
absolutely.
you get that ownership. It's not because your manager says or you get a hike that as a better person like you mentioned you can become. Correct.
You have to, yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. So now let's come to the little bit of a QA sorry to disturb you in middle. I know you are liking the content that Manish is sharing so far. um, please like the video if you're liking and comment whatever you felt, because the more likes and more comments I get, lot of impressions and lot of people will be able to watch the video. When more people watch the video, obviously the video becomes popular and I will reach my goal of helping people to clear their interview very soon. So please like and comment and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon if you're not already done before watching further. Okay. So if fresher decides to become a QA, okay, so what is should be his path? What he should start learning? As you know, QA also has multiple verticals, correct? So what all verticals are there, and how should be the preparation to become a QA engineer?
Yeah, so like there is no formula. To be
Yeah,
very frank, like okay, if I will give this formula and you will be a very bit like you will be a better QA. But like, what are the things I have observed? I can just share my experience. So like as I said in like in some of the other answers, that first you should know like whether you are naturally inclined to coding or
correct.
not.
Yes,
Because if you are naturally inclined to coding, I would advise you to be a developer, because then you will have a very different career path and you can achieve so many things.
correct.
But if you feel okay, like you're not very comfortable with coding and the DSA, the logic building and solving problems doesn't come naturally to you, you're just good with what you have read in your books.
Correct.
In that case, I think the best thing is to do those jobs where the technical or with the coding requires very less,
Got
be
it.
it a business analyst or a manager or a QA. So
Correct.
this clarity you should have in your mind.
Yeah.
So I was not having this clarity, but after I joined Wipro, I got this clarity. So
Got
when
it.
you have this clarity in your mind, then you can maybe work on your skills. Now coming to what are the skills which we have. So as I said, like the foremost skill which you should have is to analyzing the feature, analyzing the like whatever use case or business flow you are like testing or you're working,
Yeah.
because then only you can understand and you can figure out as many as scenarios as possible,
Yeah.
be it edge cases or negative cases or positive cases.
Yeah.
So you have to be very good listener,
Yeah.
because when you are going to start any product to test, you will get you'll get maybe a demo with your developer or with your product or why you are working on this feature. You'll get this call from your manager, so you have to be very keen, listen to everything, and you have to make sure that you know why and how it's going to change,
Correct.
or how it's going to affect the user's behavior.
Yes.
And on that basis you have to start preparing your scenarios and your test cases. So I
Got it.
would advise to any QA, like first thing which you do is like pick any app, be it Flipkart, Amazon,
Yeah.
Zomato, Swiggy, and pick any feature and start preparing scenarios and test cases, what comes to your mind.
Got it.
And discuss with your friends, discuss with your colleagues, or maybe discuss with your some of your seniors, which you are part of your
LM.
like through which you can easily connect.
Got it.
And that is first thing you have to be very good. Apart from other things you can learn very easily. So if
Got
this
it.
you have mastered,
Yeah.
then couple of things which comes is like to test the APIs, basic.
Correct.
So
Yes.
you should know how to test APIs,
Yeah.
and the best tool is to do is Postman.
Got it. Yeah.
So you should have basic understanding of APIs and how to test them using Postman. Then you should have debugging skills. So there are many debugging tools
Yeah.
which you can use. Like here in Coin DCX, we're using Charles Proxy,
Yeah.
so or Burp Suite. So these are the
Yeah.
few tools. So these tools, maybe you can get the trial version
Yes.
and work on a debugging skills. And debugging skills also like have like many things, like how to monitor logs
Yeah.
and how to reproduce the issues.
Yeah.
So like if I have to just summarize, so
Yeah.
first thing you should have this clarity in your mindset that okay, I have to be a QA only,
Correct.
and I have to be good in this aspect. Now you have to work on your logical, and you have to be creative, and you have to come up with as many as cases or scenarios possible for a feature.
Correct.
Once you are done with that, then other skills come, like how you will test. If you're
Correct.
testing manually, you should know how to reproduce an issue, how to test, and you should able to test iOS app, Android app, web app, Postman.
Correct.
Like if you're
Correct.
testing API, you should know Postman.
Correct.
And when you are done with the testing, if you're finding any issues, or if you have to reproduce any issue, then comes the handy part is your debugging skills.
Correct.
So debugging is something which you can learn with the time. It's not like which you can learn within 6 months.
Correct.
Basics you can learn, but all these things, like for example, if I am a singer and not a singer, suppose I'm a musician, and
Correct.
if you ask me to play some 2 3 simple chords, and I have just practiced for 2 months, I can easily play. But
Correct.
if I ask you to play a complete song, you might
Yes.
be not able to have confidence.
Correct.
But after 4 5 6 years, when you are practicing daily, then
Yes.
maybe if I'll give you any song, you can play on the spot. So the
Got.
same thing goes with any profession. So
Got.
with these basic things, you start your QA journey. But
Got.
this will be enhanced as you gain experience, as you gain practical exposure.
Got it. Got it. So I am not that familiar, Manish, but there are a lot of tools like frameworks like Selenium, right? I don't. There could be many. Any particular suggestion on that, Manish?
So there are many frameworks, or there are many tools. Selenium you can use, APM you can use.
Yeah.
I have heard there is Catalan. I think there's a new tool which has come that you can use.
Yeah.
Then we have a framework called Test Cafe that you can use. So there are many tools, but
Yes.
like what I advise to anybody who wants to be a SZ or QA automation is that if you just spend 2 3 months,
Yeah.
you can master these tools.
Got it.
Okay, it won't take time, but your specialty will come like when you have to work on a framework level. For example, these tools have some certain functionalities, features you can use, but if you go ahead in your career, then you have to be really good with your coding skills,
Got
and you
it.
have to be really good, like, for example, you should be able to make your own framework.
Got
Like
it.
you should not rely only on these tools.
Got it.
So what I would advise, learn these tools initially in your career. This will give your career a boost,
Yeah.
but focus on your coding skills.
Got it.
Improve your, like, I think the two topmost coding languages which are using for automation are Java and Python.
Got
So
it.
master Java or master Python. And the best thing I'd like, I can give some suggestion like how you can start. So if you start automating, like, you can use those tools to understand how automation works.
Yeah.
Once you know any of these tools, now you have to do from scratch, just with the help of the coding and
Correct.
your knowledge. So you can start doing with API automation, because UI automation is tricky.
Got it.
Because when you are doing UI automation, you have to handle web app, you have to handle mobile app, and there are many elements which are difficult to handle when
Correct.
you are writing a UI script.
Correct.
But when you start with the API testing, API script, that's easy.
Correct.
You can easily master that within a month, and
Yeah.
maybe you can start using REST assured with Java, and within a month you can master that. So
Got it.
if you have basic coding language,
Yeah.
start API automation, start with REST assured and Java.
Yeah.
Within 2 months, you will get confidence. You know how to automate APIs, and your logic for automation will improve.
Got
Then
it.
maybe you can switch to doing the UI automation, and you can maybe start playing around with different tools and technologies, and like frameworks like Test Cafe you can use, Selenium you can use, APM
Got
you
it.
can use, or whatever you want to use.
Got it. Got it. Got it, Manish. So just to summarize, so basically start understanding the different scenarios. I mean, have that particular mindset. Then pick a
Yes,
framework
yes,
like with whatever it is. Like you said, framework are nothing but they come and go. But core skill is not that. But framework anytime you can master.
yes,
Learn Java or Python. Understand your inclination and choose one
yes.
language and learn. Start with the API automation kind of a
Automation.
testing.
Yes.
Then probably you can switch to UI. Correct? Sure, sure,
Right.
Manish.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. Now let's talk a little bit about the current company that Manish you're working, correct? So Coin DCX, like I said, I also once got a call and I couldn't get interviewed because of a lot of reasons. How is life at this? I guess India's first or almost in the top fifth. If we take a category, Coin DCX will stand for the crypto exchange,
Yes.
correct? How is the life at Coin DCX, Manish?
So like life has been really good.
Yeah,
And I'm not denying the fact that crypto market is like
yeah,
volatile, not
yes,
only in India, in all over the world.
exactly.
And that is a challenge, like even my company is facing, and we are figuring out like how we can improve and how we
Correct.
can sail through the time.
Yeah,
So we can't tell now like how good will be, but one belief which everybody who's part of crypto has is like blockchain as a technology is very like it's like a revolution.
exactly.
And crypto exchange and other stuff will be there or not, I'm not sure, but blockchain as a technology will evolve for sure.
Correct.
Now
Yeah,
my experience would be, if I have to say, like, it has been really good.
great.
The team is here very friendly,
Correct.
and everybody is like, I would say, like, everybody is inclined to one goal,
Got it.
and they know like, okay, we have to achieve this goal, and we are working very hard to make sure that we reach more people, not only in India but even outside
Well,
India. Like, there are many products which we are working on, which
great.
will be releasing internationally,
Great.
and everything is good. Like, the management is very good, And since the market is down, I think company are taking right steps to make sure that we are able to maybe sail for another couple of years.
Great.
And yeah, it's like work-life balance is good. Since we are having a web app and native app as well. So
Yes.
sometimes when we have a release or there's some production issue, so as you said
Yeah.
earlier,
Yeah.
we have to sometimes work late night or
Yes.
maybe sometimes over a weekend,
Yeah.
but not much.
Got
Things are
it.
very very well planned,
Yes.
and people are very friendly.
Got it.
And tech wise also, like I'm learning a lot of stuff. Like I have been in the payment industry for past 4 years,
Yeah.
but payment with crypto is something very new to me. So
Yes.
even though I have 6.5 years of experience, but still I'm learning new things every day.
Great, 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 Manish. So a lot of QS will be watching this video. So my main question now is, what was your typical interview preparation strategy? Or you can also say, what was your interview strategy for the coin DCX? The time you realize that you want to switch, what is the steps that you take, Manish? That could inspire many or they could practice.
So my strategy have been same since my first switch.
Yeah.
So when I started switching and when I started preparing after Wipro, I just used to apply,
Yeah.
wait for calls. And if I'm applying for 20, 30 opportunities, maybe I'll get one call.
Yes.
So the ratio was very less. And I
Yes.
think it happens to everyone because for the same position and HR get many
Correct.
applications. So it's not
Shortest.
like you'll get call every time. So I started giving interviews, and after I gave 4 5 interviews, I came to know, okay, what are the areas I'm lacking.
Yeah.
So the same thing I still do. So when you start giving interviews, when you start preparing interviews, just make sure that, for example, if you're applying for one job and you can read the job description, that what tools and technologies they are looking into.
Correct.
So you can make sure that if you, like, suppose they have mentioned 10 skills,
Yeah.
and out of 10 skills, you have 7 or 8 skills, the other two you can master, then only you apply.
Got
If
it.
you just apply blindly, the
Yeah.
chances of getting calls are less.
Yes.
Also, whenever you are applying to some company, make sure you spoke to the HR and try to understand what kind of resume they select. Change
Got
your
it.
resume if
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
If not, then make a generic resume, but the resume should be not more than 1 or 2 pages.
Got it.
And in your resume, highlight your skills. Like maybe you can have 20 different skills,
Yeah.
but there would be 5 6 skills which you have mastered.
Yeah.
So highlight those skills and talk to the HR, ask and try to get them get them on LinkedIn or some other platform, and then ask them to check from their side. Or you can ask someone for a referral. For example, in Zeta, I applied and they rejected me. Then one of my friend who was my PG friend, I used to stay with him PG. He was in Zeta. I asked him for a referral, and within a week, I got a call for interview.
Great.
So that's how referral works. So talk to the HR, talk to the people who are working there, and ask for refer. So these things will help you to get the cause. Now the major part is how to prepare. So as I said, for first thing is see the job description, see what are the tools and technologies they're looking into. If you already have those skills, it's good for you. Just go and just give the interview. But if not, and if you have, because usually we get 1 or 2 weeks time before a first interview.
Correct.
So if you can learn at least basic of those skills, which they have mentioned in the job description, it will be good for you.
Got it.
And many times what happens, people feel bad after 4 or 5 rejection.
Correct.
But but I see in a positive way, because after every interview, you know which area you failed.
Got it. Yes.
After every bad interview, you know which question you didn't answer, which topic you failed, or which area you need to focus more. So before the next interview, so I have done this in my life. So after every interview where I have been rejected, I used to sit and just note down the points. Okay, I didn't answer this question. I didn't answer this question. I didn't answer this topic. Okay, this is the tool which I have not even heard of.
Got
so
it.
Next time, what I will do, apart from my current knowledge, whatever I have, I will at least do the basic understanding of these questions or these tools and technologies which I was not able to answer in my previous interview. So if you do this process 4 or 5 times, I'm pretty sure, like maybe sixth or seventh interview, you will be confident, and then you'll be surely clearing your interviews. And one thing I want to tell everyone, that if you are a fresher, if you're not having a job, then maybe it's a very critical situation for you for getting a job. But if you are already having a job, you're already having a source of income, don't be demotivated, don't be negative. You already have a job, you already have a salary. Keep trying. Sometimes, like currently market is down, market is slow. So if you try switching, it might take 6-7 months.
Exactly.
Because the way the market is behaving. So there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You just need the right day, right people, right company, right position, and you will get through it. So don't be demotivated. You already have a job. Enjoy that job. If you have free time, learn in that free time. But just enjoy the process.
Got it. Got it. Sure, Manish. This is one of the last questions from the technical point of view. I just wanted to know, like, some QA applies for the coin DCX now. Can I know what are the rounds are there? I am not asking question. How many rounds typically interview
Yeah.
process?
Be it automation or be it manual, so we
Yeah.
used to have 3 to 4 rounds,
Got it.
and the first 2 rounds would be technical, and the last 2 rounds would be like a kind of discussion kind of round,
Got
where
it.
you might speak to one of the leaders. It could be a product manager, or it could be one of the leads from the engineering side,
Got it.
or maybe some senior HR. But the
Got it.
first 2 rounds are the foremost technical rounds, and the first round which we have so we have 2 technical rounds. The first round is kind of a screening round. So in this round, we see how good you are with basics. What is your mindset like? Because a service background mindset and a startup based mindset is very different. In
Correct.
service based mindset, you just do whatever you have been asked to. But
Correct.
in a startup mindset, you have to ask questions. Okay, why this? Why not this?
Correct.
How we can do this, why we are not doing this. So
Correct.
we see this mindset, whether this guy is trying to answer the questions or trying to understand the question or not. It's not like, for example, I somebody asked people like, have you faced any issue in your testing and have you resolved it, or did you find any bottlenecks? So they say like we haven't, like whatever we have been asked, we just do that and we just share the report with our managers.
Correct.
So we look so we look on the basic part, and
Got it.
how confident you are, how good is your communication skills, and whether you have a startup mindset and you're good with basics or not.
Got
if
it.
you are if you're good with the first round, then the second round will be more
Technical.
more in depth technical round,
Yes.
where you might can suppose if you are applying for automation role, so maybe you will have an automation guy who's having 6, 7, or 8 years of experience, and that will be like more in depth. If you
Got it.
clear that, then the last 2 rounds will be last two, or 1 round will be a discussion round.
Got it. Got it. Sure, Manish. So, Manish, this is just out of the box that I'm asking. As you know, now so many companies are being laying off the employees, and market is not so positive. Correct. So, I personally, a lot of people have connected with me recently on LinkedIn, stating like we have been laid off. Can you help? Definitely, whomsoever we can refer, will refer. But it is
Yes.
quite sad. So many getting laid off. So, and there are many who could be like freshers and just started. So, what is your message to them, Manish?
See, laying off can happen to anyone. If Facebook and Microsoft can fire, then anybody can fire.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much like part of the journey. And at the
Yes.
end, they are running company. They want
Correct.
to have profits for their company. So
Correct.
even if they have to fire you,
Yeah.
maybe it is difficult for them, but they have to do
Yes.
it for the interest of the
Exactly.
company. So
Exactly.
we have to deal with it. First thing. Second thing is don't panic.
Exactly.
Layoffs has been happening from the beginning of the IT
Indeed.
industry, and it will be
Yes.
happening even in
Always.
next 200 years as well.
Exactly.
So it's okay. Now the question comes whether yeah, I do believe that if you are looking for a change or looking
Correct.
for a job as a fresher, the market is slow.
Yes.
Keep patience. It will take time to get a
Correct.
job, but you'll get a job. We still have opportunities, but it will take some time. So you have to keep some patience. Now the last question is whether we should join or we should switch or not at this time. So
Correct.
see, like whenever you join some company, right, do some research. For
Correct.
example, companies like Byju's or Paytm, Zomato, Swiggy, they are
Yeah.
cash burning companies.
Correct.
Cash burning company means on every transaction which they are doing, mostly they are burning some their own
Correct.
cash.
Correct.
So they have not been a positive revenue
Correct.
company.
Correct.
So so if you're joining such kind of companies, see how recently they have laid off
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
how recently they have got funding. If they
Exactly.
have not laid off recently,
Yes.
and if they don't
Good
have
for
any
them.
history of laying off,
Correct.
and they have got fundings recently, then it's still a
Exactly.
safe bet to
Correct.
join.
Yes.
But if they have laid off recently, or they have not raised fund recently,
Correct.
or you are not hearing good things about that company from their employees, then I think you should avoid.
Got it. Got it. Sure, Manish. Like you said, definitely there are tough times, and like you mentioned, laying off is part of parcel of everyone. In fact, in short span of my 6 years, I've been laid off twice. So you
It
definitely
happens. See,
yes.
I'm part of one of the biggest crypto company, but crypto markets is not very good in India.
Exactly.
So we never know. Like maybe in 2, 3 years, something big change happen, or government do some big change,
Yes.
and it affects our business. So maybe there could be a point where maybe we are not getting enough salaries, or maybe we are laying
Exactly.
off anybody. Like even I can go through that. So it's part of
Exactly.
the journey.
Yes, yes. I mean, like if you choose on this career, have this in your mind. Every job comes with its own plus and negative, correct? So laying
Yes,
off is
yes.
something that can happen anytime. So be ready for that, and definitely don't wish. Nobody wants you to get laid off. I even have talked to founders when I was in startup who laid off. Nobody from the heart want to fire someone.
Yes.
But it all the but end of the day, no one runs charity, so they want to make money.
Yes.
Business runs like that. So in tough times, definitely will be laid off. Like you said,
And
be
like
positive.
one advice with respect
Yeah,
to financial, right? If you are earning and if you are having job for 2 3 years,
correct.
try to have some basic
Exactly.
savings.
Yes,
I
yes,
would say, like, suppose your cost to run for 1 month is suppose 20,000.
yes,
I'm not talking about the luxury part, like
yes,
eating
yes.
in the restaurant or doing shopping, but paying rent,
Correct.
buying food,
Yes,
traveling, transportation, commuting. If you have
yes,
around 20,000 expense per month, try to have at least 20,000 into 6 months, maybe 1,20,000. So at least
yes.
try to have 1.5 lakhs in a
Correct.
savings, so
Correct.
that if the layoffs happens, at least you'll have some backup.
Exactly. Yes, yes, Manish. I just second that. Yes. So, Manish, we are at the end of the video. So far, we have talked all the different things about the QA and yourself. Like, let's say now somebody is liking whatever you spoke and they want to connect with you. So, what is the right means to talk to you more?
So for past couple of weeks, I have been very busy with my work, but
Correct.
I make sure that I reply to each and everyone who reach out to me and how they can reach out to me. So
Yeah.
I'm active on Quora. You
Correct.
can ping me. You can message me on Quora. I'm
Yes.
active on LinkedIn. You can
Correct.
message me on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And I have recently made my profile on TopMate. So if
Correct.
you want to book my slot or book my calendar and have a one-to-one discussion, be
Yes.
it your life, your personal life, your professional life, or career
Yes.
guidance, or some other stuff, you
Correct.
can reach out to TopMate. I think Vasant can share those links
All the
like in
links.
the description.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and if you want to know like how is my day-to-day life, so I'm very
Correct.
active on Instagram, on YouTube. So you can
Yes.
even reach out to me there.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I'm very much active on all the social media handles,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
would love to connect. And till now, there's not a single person who has texted me and I have not replied.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
I'll try my best to keep doing same in the future as well.
Got it. Sure, sure. Like Manish mentioned, all his different handles will be there in the description. Please follow him. And in fact, I just have to add, like I also connected with LinkedIn with Manish. Manish has around more than 20,000 followers on LinkedIn, and I just started and I have around 12,000 followers on LinkedIn. I know how many people will message. Someone who message actually think he has become so big and he's not replying. But you get so many messages, with the little hard to reply to everyone sometimes. But Manish has almost replied to all my messages and he was very active responding to everything. Like he mentioned, he may do same for everyone. So please
Yeah,
connect
always
with him.
like sometimes I just sit for 1 or 2 hours and just I reply to everyone on LinkedIn or Twitter, because I feel like sometimes like you just need to talk to someone for a minute to give
Exactly.
them some hope.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that's what I have been doing for past 5 6 years, and I'll keep doing the same.
Great, Manish. So nice talking to you, Manish. That's all from this video. Very nice talking to you, and thank you so much for coming on my channel and
Yeah,
sharing
my
your knowledge.
pleasure, and hopefully like it helps people. And if people have more doubts,
Yeah,
like maybe you and me can again plan to meet and maybe
exactly.
again
Yes.
have this
More-
kind of discussion. And
Yes,
yeah, I think it was really pleasure and it was really good to be part of this discussion.
yes, great. Okay, Manish. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Take care.
So it was my first time interaction with a senior QA like this who has a lot of influencers on LinkedIn and who actively write about a lot of QA stuff on online. And such a refreshing session. He talked about a lot of things, how to prepare for the QA interview, and how he became a QA engineer. And if freshers are want to become a QA engineer, what should be their thought process? I really enjoyed the session. I believe it is enlightening to a lot of people out there who are in currently in QA or want to pursue for the QA as their career. I believe you enjoyed the video. If so, please like the video on YouTube channel and share the video with your friends. If you're not subscribed to Uncommon Geeks, please subscribe to Uncommon Geeks and press the bell icon. I'll be coming up with lot more such interesting videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in next video.